All right, welcome everybody. This is Mike Klingler, and I got a few things to go over. But if you're in USI-Tech or you were in USI-Tech, I just want to address you directly. I have $800,000 held up in BTC packages in USI-Tech right now. And while I'm hearing whispers of good news, and I'm going to be creating a video here shortly on what I'm hearing, that may be made available to us here soon. It is very frustrating, of course, to all of us who have been in the US and Canada to see it get tied up like that, and really the way that it's been handled, things changing and so forth in the back office, losing access to certain things one little part at a piece at a time, with very little communication, I think, is the issue that I've been having. So if you're in other countries and you're feeling insecure about this, maybe you're getting paid and so forth, but you're feeling insecure about this and you're kind of looking for a new home, I just wanted to address you real quick. And those of you that are orphans that are looking for a new home that were in USI-Tech in US or Canada, I also want to share this with you. Look at what I've generated in Davor Coin, a company that's 2 months old, already launched its coin, so they're not getting ready to launch it. By the way, I bought several diamond packages, so I'm hoping that that turns out, but not feeling extremely confident at the present moment, just trusting the process and believing that they will get it sorted out. But in the meantime, I'm not going to wallow. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to whine. I'm going to take action. And in just 7 days in DevoreCoin, using a system that I will make available to anyone who plugs into this, I've earned almost $60,000 in commissions in 7 days in DevoreCoin. Again, they're backed by their own coin. It's a powerful model. It's similar in some ways to USI-Tech, but they pay significantly more. On the return on capital, so separate from commissions, I'll talk about how you can use my system here to build a team, but just talk about the return on capital for a minute. Like when you do a lend, they call it in DevoreCoin. In USI, it was called getting BTC packages. Well, here when you do a lend, which is kind of like getting BTC packages, here you get paid twice the daily returns than USI was paying. And you get paid on top of that 7 days a week instead of 5 days a week. And on top of that, you get your initial capital return to you that you put in the first place when your contract's over. And on top of that, instead of waiting 140 days and having that being a mysterious number that might be more than 140 days, if you do a larger lend, you can get your capital back after 89 days. So let me repeat. In USI, you didn't get your capital back. You got your return on capital every day, and through that process, you would get 40% more. So you get your capital back and 40% more. But at the end of the contract, you did not also get your capital back. Here, you're getting way more than that. Plus, you're getting your capital back. In addition to that, you have commissions here. This isn't as robust of a compensation plan as USI, but honestly, if you take a look at what I've gotten on the 5 levels that they pay, I've gotten almost 60,000 in 1 week using the system that I can let you use. You can use the same ads, the same ad copy, the same images. I'll show you the audiences to set up. I'll give you the marketing funnel. We'll set it up for you. And obviously, it's effective. Now, this is no guarantee or promise. Obviously, a lot of you guys know in USI, I definitely need to say this, and then you need to understand there's never a guarantee of earnings. These lending platforms have risk. You should never invest more than you're willing to lose. But if you see and understand that all throughout history, there's been unique opportunities for the average Joe and Jane to come in and take advantage of a developing market and opportunities that were there. There was high risk, but there was also high returns. And this is another one of those opportunities right now in history, maybe bigger than ever. And you're willing to take that on, or maybe put aside some entertainment money, perhaps, instead of spending it all on entertainment for the next year, put it into this, make a few sacrifices like that, but not, overextend yourself, be aware of the risks. Understand when you come in and you do something like this, that when I'm showing you these examples, it's not a guarantee that you're going to earn anything. If you're there and you get all of that and you're not overly anxious about the process of reality, of these kinds of things, then come on in. First of all, take a look at what I have to share with you, and seriously consider plugging into the same system I have. Here's a snapshot that a lot of people in USI wanted, of a lead capture page that I created for the system that I was using to build USI, that a lot of people in USI wanted to use, but they couldn't because they weren't in my organization. Well, here's a chance for you to join up, team up with me, use the same system I'm using, and Davor Coin, and start building a team. If you don't want to give up on the cryptocurrency lending platform opportunities that are still here. Davor Coin is an extremely a good spot, very well funded. They're only 2 months old, so huge growth up ahead in front of them. And they already have over a $1.5 billion market cap on their coin. They're already traded on an external exchange. They already have a wallet. All the stuff that USI was talking about, they already have that in place. It's really, really powerful. And as you can see here, if you go to and just search some of the sites, you're going to see just how strong of a position they're in. They're number 2 out of all lending platform coins, right after BitConnect, and BitConnect's been around a long time, and they're just right behind them. It's really, really impressive. I'm going to give you your next steps if you want to plug into this, but let me just show you a few more things. This is inside my Davor Coin back office, and I did do a $161,000 lend 6 days ago, which has paid $16,000 in just 6 days. You can see the interest, the average interest per day here. This changes, it's variable just like it was with USI, but look, 1.48% on January 12th, 0.91% on January 13th. This would have been considered a higher day for USI, 1.09%, 1.71%. I saw 1.78%. It's not showing it, but the previous week, 1.1% today, 1.62% tomorrow. These are high returns, and understand they're paying them 7 days a week, not 5. And understand on top of this, at the end of your contract, which can be as short as 89 days, you get the original capital back too. So really, really powerful on the return on capital situation. And they got a profit calculator in here, all kinds of stuff. And again, if you're worried about regulatory issues and compliance in the US and Canada, they have the funding. They're sitting on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of funding. So if the worst case scenario happened to this company too, they've got the funds to pay us and not kind of play games with holding our capital. They've got their own internal exchange. As I said, their coins listed on an external exchange. So if you're having trouble with, things are moving really fast, people are buying and selling, and you're having trouble with this site, if that were to ever happen, worst case scenario, and by the way, the site runs beautifully, but if that were to ever happen, you've got an external exchange that you can sell and buy your DAV on, your Davor Coin, we call it DAV for short. You've got your own wallet, your Davor Coin wallet, a Bitcoin wallet, very, very impressive. You can also do something called staking with your DAV coin, where you get you give you lend your DAV coin there, and you get a percentage return. And people have just made a killing. I mean, just in the last week, it's doubled. It's at $166 a DAV right now. And again, if you see, this is the snapshot that I started with. In just 1 week, the total number of people that my referrals have lent is 1.5 million almost, generating $58,000 almost, or no, $58,000 in commissions to me, and that doesn't count the return on capital that I'm getting. It's very, very impressive. What I recommend is take a serious look at using my system, and not just, if you have to give up on the whole industry because of a bad incident. I just want to remind you of a book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and the story of being 3 feet from gold, and the uncle and his nephew who ended up giving up on, digging for the gold mine. They'd sold everything, moved out west during the gold rush. And at that time, that was very applicable to what's happening here in the cryptocurrency market with these lending programs. And they found some gold, they started digging it, and then right when they made enough just to pay all their expenses to that point and break even, they couldn't find any more gold. And they dug and they dug and they couldn't find it, and they gave up, and they ended up selling the gold mine for almost nothing. And they basically broke even, went back home after all that work, and later found out that the person they sold it to hired a consultant, found out the gold vein was on an earthquake fault, and just 3 feet from where they had been digging, he found it, and it was one of the biggest gold mines during the rush. And the guy made, tens of millions of dollars, which back then today would be worth, I think, hundreds of millions or billions, just an insane amount of return. And they were just 3 feet from gold and just didn't take that extra step to figure out what to do. Just because things don't go the way you wanted them to, the whole book, and anyone who's been successful in every personal development book and wealth book will teach you, you have to figure it out. You can't just give up, obviously. So while I was, I'm frustrated with USI, I do believe in the founders. I believe in what they're doing. And, and if they can figure stuff out, I would be back on board with USI, but they don't allow me to promote. I'm in the United States. They will not allow me to promote now in USI. If you're in the US and Canada and you're in the same boat, or you're around the world and you're kind of scratching your head, you may want to take a serious look at plugging into our system with Davor Coin. It's only 2 months old. It's already launched its coin. It's got a $1.5 billion market cap, so they're very well funded. So in the worst case scenario, if the same thing were to happen to them, we know they're well funded enough that they can continue business in the other countries and pay us the funds that they're holding. So I feel very good about it. I'm not the kind of person to give up. I'm already seeing extraordinary returns. Again, this is no promise or guarantee that you're going to make what I'm making or anything like that, but obviously there are advantages to anyone that uses the same system I'm using, leveraging the 20 years plus experience I have in marketing. You see the results that I'm getting, and while that's no guarantee at all, and it's just for illustrative purposes to show you that the system's working for me, you should be able to put two and two together and realize if you're willing to take on the risk, you understand the risks, the opportunity is pretty extraordinary in the cryptocurrency industry, and these lending platforms are an extraordinary moment in history where your average person can come in and leverage stuff quickly using the same system I am, the same funnel, the same ads, the same ad copy. I'll tell you the marketing audiences, and I'll even show you how to set it all up, and you could do it all stealth. I mean, you got my images, my everything. I could plug into this and do extraordinarily better, exponentially better than I think that you could do without a system. So there it is. Here's your next steps if you want to plug in. Very, very simple. I've done, the videos, the hard work for you, everything. I've got a team to build the funnel for you. Next steps, if you want to 10x what you probably even dreamed to do in USI, register at Davor Coin. You'll see the link below this video. Join our group. You'll see the link also in the description and below this video. And then secure a $1,000 and $1 lend. And you don't have to do it all at once, and you don't have to do it all now, but that's when you get to join our VIP group and have us build a funnel for you. And remember, you get the returns on that. I just showed you how incredible those returns were. While there's no promise or guarantee you'll get those exact same returns I just showed you, obviously, because it's variable, just like it was in USI. They appear to be about twice as what USI's were, and they pay on the weekends. And you get your capital back at the end. So it's not like you're paying us that money. So consider it. You don't have to do anything now other than just, I suggest, register Davor Coin, join our group, poke around, see what resources we have in there in the free group, and then when you feel comfortable, you could secure a lend at that point, or not if you don't want to. But you could consider joining our VIP then, and we could build a funnel for you. You can plug in to everything our leadership's doing and my team's doing to build the commissions aspect of Davor Coin. All right, I hope to see you inside.